Hey everybody, I hope you're all alright. Right, couple of bits I'm going to go on about today. First thing, I've obviously not been driving a lot because of my back, been giving me some stick, and so obviously I've been walking up and down, but I wanted something out of Reliant today, so I went and I got out. And while I was there, when I was looking for this thing, I just want like owner's handbook, and just so happened out until I get a squint through it yesterday and have a look, and I was looking at service schedule, and it's like pretty amazing. I mean, I don't know what service schedule is on modern cars, where we are or what we have to do, what we don't have to do. But like the amount of jobs you have to do on one of these cars per 5,000 miles is awesome. And I mean, everybody's like kicking off, I've had to this, or like some new parts are rubbish, which I agree with. I completely agree with you. They don't fit and they don't 100% do the job. But it's pretty amazing, really, that some cars, if this is like service schedule, what they're telling you to check over, I mean, I know there's your basic stuff, check your levels, stuff like that. Then it's telling you, there's like top up batteries, examine brake linings, and what is it? Adjust brakes. Well, in fact, adjust brakes on this car is every 5,000 miles. Now, obviously today I suppose we don't adjust brakes like that because they probably self-adjust. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, a lot of them are probably looking after the same. You ain't got a problem, pull handbrake on. But when I'm looking through here, there's all sorts of other stuff, like check body suspension, that's every 10,000, front wheel bearing and adjust every 10,000 mile, check your battery terminals, which you should do anyway, stuff like that. Check top up master cylinder, inspect air system for leaks, hoses and chafing, examine brake linings and all that. Like I said, that's all the time. Adjust brake all the time. Adjust the clutch all the time. Adjust pressure to check condition of tyres all the time. So these were obviously checked up steering box oil. That's all the time, every 5,000 miles. Oil and grease lubrication point every 5,000 miles. Now, how many of these cars had that? I know this is a little reliant, but how many cars did? So is that why when I get them in bits, I'm going through everything and doing everything? And is that why we're all probably doing the same or haven't? I mean, is it just that when the day they built some here that were just practically to get you to work and back and you had to look after it? Is that why you saw everybody like messing on drive on a Sunday morning, like a bit of tweaking, Mrs. fetching a cup of tea out, I've just got this to do, got that. Is that why you heard them down the street, something like supposed to be a super reliable Austin 1100, which I think the lot of A series, and they were cranking away, I won't go, probably because points were short. Because the car might have done 20,000 miles and never even, I don't think people really took note of this. I don't think it's like today, like somebody's leasing a car and it's got to go in for its service and all that. But another thing that come to light with this, I mean, this is just a service schedule, but I went all through this book, right? And I just happened to be having a drink and reading, because you don't take, it's not the thickest thing. It's not 2 minutes to read through or glance through. And then we got this up back. Warning, contains asbestos. So, a number of parts fitted to your vehicle include brakes, clutch linings and engine gaskets may contain asbestos, which can be dangerous to health of the parts are serviced unless they are handled and following correctly and follow proceedings. Breathing asbestos dust is dangerous and part containing asbestos should be handled with care in a well-ventilated place. Never blow asbestos dust off from components. Dampen asbestos dust and dispose of safety clothes, respective or throughout the appropriate dust extraction system. Reliant Motor Company, PLC. So that is your only warning in this book, really, where it's telling you how to do, right? So it would obviously come into light then, like health and safety and all that is now. Right now, that's that point I'm just mentioning. That's a car. That is a motor car. So in that book, that's telling you all about a motor car. It's telling you servicing tools. It's telling you what to do, what not to do. Like I said, I think there's quite a lot going off 24/7 with it. So, well, they all maintained right, and is that why some have got reliability issues? Now, I'm going to go on to these washers here, because you're probably looking, wondering what they are. Now, these are made for this Lotus engine back here. So, let me show you exactly what they're doing, what they're for. I'll just take my stand over. If you look here, they sit on tip liner here, then I'll obviously shorten this tube to make a spacer, put a washer on, tighten it, and I'll just nip and catch corners. So when I glue my liners in, Because these liners were the big debate with Lotus lads. You know, some are saying I'm like blue to stick them in. Others are saying Loctite 572, which it seems to be the latter one and seems to be one they're all favour about. So that's where we've gone. But you understand what that's done. They'll be surfaced on bottom. I'll just put a slight shim on there, probably the slightest bit of paper or something as a protection, and just a nip, and it'll hold them in while adhesive set. Well, it's not an adhesive, it's just, it'll compress in. I'm getting my pistons in and it'll sit overnight. Now, so they've come out of these, which has come out of 30 washers. So all I've done, I've made a step. What do you want? Here we go, look. That's all it is. 3 washers tacked up with MIG. Probably get a better view for you, see if I can. Here, look. Now, I'll just surface this side here. I'll just surface it. Just look on my piece of... I've got, what is it? Some emery paper on a piece of glass, and I'll just so they sit flat. And like I said, the slightest little shim, a little bit of pressure. It'll need very little pressure to push onto the liners to stick them in. But I'm waiting for 572 now, so I thought I'd knock this job up out of the way. So, as I said, 3 washers welded together, tacked together. Right, I've dealt with this firm for years, Williams. Now, it belongs to a friend of mine, Eric Lancashire. Well, I know his brother more than I know Eric. Eric's been in business years, nut and bolt factory. Sent stuff all over. Well, still does. Still got lots of machines. Does your one-off stuff like that. But here, this is paperwork. Right, excuse me. So in this book, I've got one thing there. That's all it'll have had. Right, and you'll have got a bill of sale from your garage. It was probably written out. Now this is 30 washers. Come to £9. Right, £9. So £9, and I've got a delivery note and a certificate of conformity, and then I've got an invoice. Right, and then there's all sorts of names, all this blah 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 blah, and I mean obviously then that's my print off what payment. Now, I was talking to these lads, and these are in some whatever quality control thing, ISO 9, whatever it is. So I don't know what on earth that means. Is beyond me. And then they were telling me now they can't supply some at firms because some of the washers or bolts or whatever, I mean, they're having to make some one-off stuff because of what's inside them. It don't comply with company who they're supplying to. So I mean, point I'm just getting over here is. So, this paperwork here, you've got a certificate of conformity for 30 washers, and in here you've got a bit of a warning, it contains a bit of asbestos. So, I mean, what really has happened? You know, I mean, are the LD if a modern car's got a service procedure like that, and it's got all this to go with it, well, that's why costs are just phenomenal, isn't it? You know, and that's why everything's gone crazy, isn't? And all this conformity thing now, is that why? And he's saying they can't supply to firms. Is that why we can't get parts made in UK? You know, is that why it's all made abroad? So, I mean well, I don't really want to say it. I don't want to say any more. I think it just about says it all. But what I'm saying is, it's just another crazy way that this country's gone. You know, and it's like when I did that one about youth unemployment, I got plenty of feedback of plenty of young'uns, and I think it was more about they can't do it because somebody. I mean, well, they were saying they couldn't get a Saturday job, or they couldn't do this, or they couldn't do. And I suppose it's all right. You know, so we've gone from asbestos coming to light. They put a thing in book where it tells you, oh, you bought 30 washers, but here's your certificate of conformity, so you're not going to come back, I don't know, and sue us and say that our washers were this, that, over. We've bought them in thing. But now, even though they've got all these paperwork, the biggest firm, Williams. I mean, Eric bought company out. They were a Sheffield company. He bought it obviously because he used them. So it was probably in his interest to have under his own roof in house. But I just think to myself, well, where's it going to end? You know, I mean, like I said about that, there's quite a bit going on in your service. Well, if we are griping a bit, or like, oh, got to do a bit of work on your classic car, well, what work have you got to do now to build something new? You know, so that's the point I'm getting. So anyhow, give us a like if you like video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this, and That's a comment. See what you think. But I can't believe how much of this would there be to build this today? Because you'd need a department, you know, and I bet Reliant didn't have a department for. They might have had about half a dozen lasses in an office. I bet probably something like that. Probably 10 at tops. You know, it wouldn't surprise me. And they were a PLC, but I bet you've got half a dozen people in an office for a gator. So catch you all later, and I'll catch you tomorrow. See you all later. Bye for now.